Hey, what's up? It's David Palmer, the Leo King, and I'm here to talk about the sun's polarity shifting, all this energy that's been happening with the sun, and what this all means. I also want to talk about free will and what astrology is and how destiny comes into play. I've been having a lot of conversations lately about what destiny is, what astrology really does for the human soul, and its own unique story, because I think it goes so deep, and I want to use this as a platform to be able to go into some of these different subjects that I like to talk about in my horoscopes. Because in my horoscopes, I am channeling so much of this information, more than just the planetary alignments. I'm also channeling what's happening galactically, what I see is coming in the very deep and intense future that goes past all of our lives that we're going to live. You know, I think outside of that, in order to give the perspective of where I'm at now. And let's start with the sun, going through this big, polar shift. I mean, this is a big energy. I mean, of course, this happens every 11 to 12 years because we do come to these solar peak maximums with solar flares. But this is very interesting times because this is happening right as we've had December 21st, 2012, the galactic shift that has happened and this new change of a new age coming in. And I am the Leo King, so I do got to bring some Leo energy into this. The Leo energy is about to be reset. Jupiter's in Cancer now. All this energy in Cancer is getting ready for Jupiter to come into Leo. And if we just take some simple and basic astrology, and the sun is ruled by Leo, that this is a very karmic time for the sun. This is the sun clearing its past, which it's clearing this last decade or more that the sun has been shining this reality. Let's look at it that way. This is a lot about the reality that we've been in for the last decade. Going back to 2001, we all know what happened then. That was a pretty crazy time in all of our lives, a big shift. Doesn't matter if you were an American or not. That was a whole new world stage. That was also the last decade of quite an old age that we were in. A very, ending age. You can in many ways look at it as a very extreme age, not only with technology that happened, but what has also happened with spirituality, what has also happened with the world and where our perceptions of this world is at. And the reality is about to go through a big shift. And this shift is to clear so much of what has happened over the last decade or more, and to get ready as the sun is about to project an opposite energy of this reality. And if we take a look at all the planets, they are very pinpoint and precise, different energetic vibrations that are very specific to what we're going through in this reality. But it is above, in the heavens, in our galaxy, and the way that the sun is wrapping around this galaxy and it's going through its changes that affect our reality more than just the planets. If anything, the planets are part of the story. It's like the characters in the story that let you understand what's happening on a bigger scale of the play. And it is this play that is about to change. Not only because of this new age that we came into, but this new kickstart of the sun, this new energy, and these solar flares that we're getting, which to me houses the complete mainframe of spirituality of this reality is our sun. And now there are other suns and other mainframe computers. But we are getting direct source information from our sun, and as it goes through its reboot, it is clearing karma, its own karma. How could you not believe the sun has its own karma, that the sun has its own soul, that the sun has its own purpose? It has a purpose. And this kind of correlates with finding your own purpose in astrology. It's not that you're a sun sign Cancer or a sun sign Capricorn and, do I do well with an Aries? Like, astrology is so much more than all of those notations that people give it, those perceptions that people give it. Sure, we could do astrology that way, and believe me, I have a lot of fun. I'm going to actually record some videos about love in each sign and how they all interact. But this is at a really deeper aspect of looking at things with astrology, that this universe gives you the ability to manifest what you want. The sun has the ability to manifest what it wants, whether it wants to let off 1,000,000 solar flares and it's got to reset. But there's also a purpose to the sun, that this reality wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be experiencing this, and the light that powers this sun would not be transferring through this camera and bringing you this video. I mean, this is like, the purpose of everything has a meaning and a destiny and a reason. And so do you here. That even though we could say, I want to manifest a house, and I want to manifest a car, and I want to manifest money, and all these things, I believe 100% after looking at all of these patterns that we all go through these cycles, and we are all meant to connect with, we are all meant to go through our situations for a purpose. Whether it's the purpose that you had to break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend just so you could be mad and go to the store where you would hit that person's car next to you, which would cause then a scene for you to meet the person that would eventually, by switching cell phone numbers, would be the person that, you know, got you the job that is where you met your new future wife. I mean, that's where these events start to take away from this whole feeling of, you know, oh, manifesting whatever I want in this reality. It's like a playground or something, which for the sun and it going through all these crazy changes, I mean, the sun knows its purpose very well. And I think that it's on a very high vibration of consciousness to be able to sit there, own its vibration of love and happiness, and spread it to others without affecting it in a way that hurts us too much. Sure, the sun can give you a bad sunburn and it could pulse out with all this new energy coming of the magnetics and on our earth, and with all these crazy vibrations and these solar plexus energies, and it could just be radical energy the sun does. But at the same time, I don't believe in this free will universe that a lot of people say, that, you know, it's as big a playground as you think it is. That you have the power to do that playground, but there is work that's supposed to be done here. And it's a very positive work. And it's about aligning with understanding what that work is in your life, not playing around. So if the universe is, you know, it's time for the sun to reboot. It's time for the sun to shed off so much, which it is. I don't know if you saw, the top came off the sun a couple weeks ago. I mean, it is shedding. And as a Leo, I know I'm shedding so much spiritually. But there's these work rhythms we must step into of our purpose and why we're here. And if the sun's playing jazz, I mean, if the universe is playing jazz, the sun must play jazz too if it wants to vibrate right. Sure, the sun can be like, I don't want to, I want to hold all this energy and I want to not let it out. Because what this is letting out energy of the sun. The sun is letting out all of its vibrations because it needs to purge them. You could look at it as the sun's emotional energy or whatever that the sun is letting go of. But the whole reason I'm doing this video is to show that as we come to this reboot, it's also, you can't escape the fact that you have to reboot at this time. And with astrology, we come into positions in our life where you cannot escape that this is where the universe is funneling the energy. Sure, you have the free will to eat a cheeseburger and not a pizza today, but you get cornered to where you have to eat, or you get cornered to where you're at a place in your life where you could choose the hard road of keep eating that cheeseburger, or you could eat the salad and live better. And we're at this place to know the reason why you have to do it, and to follow the signs, and to follow why the universe is putting you into these positions, why the universe is putting you here, to be aware of it. That astrology is about becoming aware. It is about becoming aware of your universe. It's about becoming aware of every little synchronicity that is happening in your life. The signs. It's the reason why it's called signs, right? I mean, what sign are you is so much deeper than, oh, that's the sign you put up. And no, not a stop sign, right? Everybody says, oh, stop sign. I got that the other day at a bar. Oh, stop sign's my sign. And that's cool. But there's a reason why all these signs are engineering for you to use your free will to align with the signs. Not for you to use your free will for whatever the fuck you want, pardon my French. Because if the sun did that, if the planets did that, if the moon did that, if wild animals did all that all the time, which we're the wild animals, but seriously, like the animals are not that wild. You know, they know their purpose. They know their reason why they're here. And that's what makes them not so loony. And that's why we're so loony. I mean, we are very in this feeling that we just do whatever the hell we want, when really it's about aligning with why you're here, your purpose, and following the patterns of this beautiful universe and starting to find your purpose of where your slot fits in. Because even though this is an infinite universe, we all have to find our place in the one. Even though we are all one, it's the beauty of the separation of that one that we find in this reality, and how it all really comes together very weird and unique and different, and finding our unique purpose. And I think we've been meant to believe that, you know, I'm just meant to go do this in my life. I'm just meant to go have this house, and I'm supposed to go move here and have this job and do whatever the hell I want. But if it just keeps not working out, and then that job doesn't work, and then now you're in 5 more years of debt, and it just keeps stumbling and stumbling, of course you have the free will to go stumble as far as you want to go. But it's astrology, which is not even, the term astrology, one day I think will have to change. Because to me it is synchronicity, it is understanding patterns, it is understanding your purpose. And if you understand this and understand where you should go, why you should go, and that you were meant to be here for this time, you will then follow into your right path, and everything will come together perfectly in sync. The same way that, sure, there are big changes that come on this earth, but it seems to flow, it goes. And the sun, which is about to go through its gnarliest transformation, seems to be doing it pretty darn well, because it knows its purpose. It's not escaping the truth of what it must do. Sure, the sun could do whatever it wants to do, but it knows its purpose, and it's here to reboot and to bring us into a new projection that's coming up here. And not a lot of people talk about this. There's a great astrologer, Michael Irwine, who I've been very close with and worked with, and he really got me into a lot of the solar flares and connecting the dots spiritually with this. And so I give him so much credit, and he's an amazing, wonderful man, but he's really opened up some really powerful doors for me. And when it comes to this, when it comes to looking at our purpose right now, and it comes to seeing how this reality shifts, we should pay attention to this next juncture here. And I'm not even looking at the astrology of the planets, which show in the reflections if we want to get deeper, which is why I do my horoscopes every day, and why I do videos with Chris One Feather and everything, to give you guys more of a perspective of what's happening on those more pinpoint things. But this was here to give a broader vision of, there's a reason why you're here. And some people might take this as, oh my gosh, this is a playground of love, and I mean that it's a playground of love. But there's work in love. And it's to be structured in the right way. That it's about, we all know people who play too long, nothing gets done, and it turns into a mess. And that's why each sign represents all these different consciousnesses, and we need all forms, and we need everybody together, and we need these different energies. And this is where we have to learn that the reason why you're here comes much deeper than just coming here to do whatever the hell you want. That you signed up for a purpose to come here, and that you have all the tools necessary to make that happen, but you've got to find out why it is. And it's to be aware of how that comes, and to find out how the Earth does it, and to find out how the galaxy does it, and how the planets do it. And once you connect that big, how much farther do you go? Well, that's where I'm hoping to go next, and I hope that you do too. So check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com. If you have any questions, or if you want to do an open forum, I'd love to do an open forum. Chris One Feather and I, we're going to do a webinar soon about some really deep aspects and get to more of the pin needles of how to access this information. But, you know, pay attention to the sun, pay attention to the solar flares. To me, the solar flares are injections of pure, raw God into this earth. And as our magnetics on the earth are dying and letting off, because the earth's about to go through a big polar shift, this allows for more pure energy to come into our earth. It's almost like the training wheels are coming off with this magnetic field that's getting lower. And with this new shot we're going to get from the sun, it's also going to be kicking off some of the past, but also getting kick-started here for a really radical and wild new future. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all your support, and I'll see you guys very soon.